And President Donald Trump's reaction after his prized One Big Beautiful Bill Act advanced to its next phase in the U.S. Senate.
We'll deliver a record tax cut, a record spending cut, a record investment in border security.
The sweeping tax and spending package would unlock the president's domestic agenda. He has been pushing to get it across the finish line by Independence Day on July the 4th, of course. The latest version of the bill was released just after midnight yesterday. It advanced by a slim margin, with 2 Republicans joining the Democrats in opposition. For more on this, we're joined by Steve Futterman. He's tracking the very latest for us from Los Angeles. Now, Steve, we'll get to all the news in just a moment, but actually Trump's bill is the key focus for you. But we've just heard from the president on Fox News a few moments ago, and he's spoken about Canada. So I just want to play that clip for people watching at home first.
Canada is a very tough country to deal with, I will say that. And I love Canada.
You have USMCA in place.
I know, but
you'll have to deal with it.
But USMCA is no good if they cheat.
What does that mean?
Well, there's been things going on that we don't like, and things going on where they took advantage.
So, Natasha, he didn't really advance the story much. He did complain again about Canada not being easy to deal with. He again brought up the 51st state, but he talked about, in just a brief comment about the end of negotiations, he said until Canada ends these unfair taxes, he's talking about the digital service tax, which he complained about, which of course goes into effect effectively tomorrow with the first payment based on those retroactive taxes going back to 2022. But as far as the big, beautiful bill, it barely got by last night. As you mentioned, 2 Republicans voting against a procedural vote that would have basically stopped it in its tracks. If there were 4 Republicans voting against it, the bill would have been stopped. But they got the votes they needed. Lots of arm twisting, lots of backroom dealing going on. The vote took more than 3 hours to complete. There were only 100 senators. They were delaying until they could get these other senators to vote in favor of the procedural vote to allow it to go through. Afterwards, John Thune, the Republican leader in the Senate, praised the bill lavishly. Take a listen.
Republicans are united in our commitment to what we're doing in this bill: securing our border, strengthening our national defense, growing our economy, unleashing American energy, cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, and preventing tax hikes on hardworking Americans. Mr. President, it's time to get this legislation across the finish line.
Now, Democrats obviously have a different view of this. They say this bill will give billions and billions of dollars to the rich in tax breaks and take away billions of dollars in food programs and Medicare programs. Chuck Schumer, the face of the Democrats in the Senate, he blasted the bill. Take a listen.
If Republicans proceed and follow Donald Trump over the cliff, with this bill tied to their ankles like an anvil, they will not only doom their own communities, they will doom their political fortunes, their own political fortunes, and have no one to blame but themselves.
Now, Natasha, there's still a number of big, beautiful bumps in the road for Republicans. Rand Paul is one of them, and also Tom Tillis. These are 2 Republicans who voted against the procedural vote last night. If there are 2 more Republicans who are going to vote against this bill, again, it's doomed, and it still has to go back to the House, so it's still not quite over yet by a long shot.
Okay, so what more are we expecting to happen today?
Well, right now, we can take a look at the Senate, and they're actually reading this 900-plus page bill right now. You think about the most boring textbook you've ever read, Natasha, times it by maybe 1,000, and that's what's going on right now. We can actually take a listen to them reading the bill. Take a listen. A program of career and technical education is defined. They're just reading it, reading. It's not very exciting. This is going to go on for several more hours. This is being forced by the Democrats, basically a delay tactic. They just want to annoy the Republicans right now. Eventually, later today, they will begin to debate this bill. Then there will be amendments. This is going to go on all night into the morning. Probably the vote to pass the bill tomorrow, and then it still has to go back to the House. There may be some problems there. Right now, Republicans seem more and more confident after last night, after that procedural vote that went on for 3 hours. They feel they can get the votes with this horse trading, with this backroom dealing. They feel they can get it through. So by tomorrow, we should have a better idea. But right now, they are feeling confident.
Okay, journalist Steve Futterman in Los Angeles. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Natasha.